Today we are going to talk about why rogues do sap caps and like back caps and how to be a good rogue when doing these kinds of things. Start out though, let's stop. I'll show you something cool. I'm an engineer, so jump, goblin glider, rocket boost. See? Sweet. It's pretty awesome. I love first caps because very rarely can I be beaten for first caps. Every now and then they'll get like a warrior with a nice leap or other um, engineers who have cool little things that give them an edge. But for the most part, I get that first cap, which is awesome. All right, so what we're going to do is we are not going to really defend anything. It's all going to be assaults. The goal is going to be to just harass the other team in a at least 1v2, if not 1v3 or 1v4 scenario. The purpose of these assaults will not be to actually gain the base. If we do, it's gravy. But for the most part, it's just going to be to kind of get in the opponent's face. So we pop up, we see some people, and you'll see what a rogue does when this sort of happens. When there's more than one tune to fight, you can't really pull off a sap cap. If there's three, you can maybe pull off a sap blind cap, but if there's specific classes, you're not going to be able to accomplish this goal. In this situation, because there's three tunes, what we're going to do is we're just going to harass them, constantly sap, make them aware of our presence, which would of course be the opposite of what we would do in a sap cap. For a sap cap, your element of surprise is the biggest thing that you have. You want to get it done quick. Whereas this, we just want people to know we're here and feel like there's, this one rogue just won't go away, and we want them pissed. If they're playing with emotion, they're the kind of people we want to be playing against. So you do it for as long as you can. Eventually, if you get the group big enough, they will find you, and because you've been pissing them off the whole time, they're gonna kill you. So watch me die. It's awesome. Alright. So, normally, a regular person would be like, well, forget that. We've assaulted stables for a little while, and now we're going to go help out somewhere else. But we're on a 4 cap. It's clearly working. We're keeping people there. So let's continue to give our team a leg up by making them only have to fight, 11 of the 15 tunes while we sap a bunch over at stables. That's really the goal of this, is to control the flow of the game. It doesn't always work. It specifically doesn't work if people follow you. If you see a rogue going off to stables, don't think for a second that they're really planning on actually capping it for a prolonged period of time. This is just, that disruption that occurs and just pisses people off. This is what the rogue is mostly doing. Every now and then they might get lucky and another person will come by at a right moment and they'll get an assault that'll force it gray for a while. But the odds are you're not going to force the point positive. It's not going to be a good thing. So we just continue. We see people coming in, we keep sapping, and we just see what happens. We've got this other guy coming in now. A little bit of fight going on, so we go for a quick cap just to see if it happens. Trinket. That's too bad. Had that Warlock not been inbound, we probably would have gotten away with just a regular cap, but having to sap that Warlock hurt, and that Warlock being good and having a Trinket hurt. But now we're up to a situation where it's a 1v5, which is really, really positive. Anytime you can get into this situation, you're doing amazing. I mean, you're taking a third of the team. What eventually happens is what's happening right now. They get a little fed up. They realize that they have to do something. They can't just stay here and deal with the rogue. so they start kind of scattering to try to pick up other bases. This is the moment that a rogue can really win in this scenario. Once people kind of get pissed off enough to go run out, they usually give you an opening to do some stuff. Kind of like what happened here. I've noticed the entire time that the priest is semi-AFK, so I just kind of grabbed the base, and now they're looking at a 5 cap, and this causes the shift of people to start influxing over to stables because you don't want to lose your main base. So that's what they're doing. They're all coming over here. So I go kind of in a defensive mode so I can hold onto the base as long as possible, just 1v, whatever this ends up being. Evasion and smoke bomb, recuperate, whatever I can do. Just spin the flag, and I know I'm going to lose it, but the goal, once again, wasn't to win it. The goal was to give a break to the rest of the team and make sure that we're operating a man up or 2 men up in any situation where it's possible. So as soon as we resurrect, you can guess where we're going to go. We're going to go right back to stables. Things seem to be working. We're on a 3 cap, occasionally with a 4 cap. Sometimes it looks like we could hit a 5 cap. So we're just going to keep going for it. Like once your foot is on their throat, like you don't let up, especially on a rogue. Like once you know you've been messing with them enough that they're starting to get stupid, you just got to keep going for it. It's what's really cool about being a rogue, because you're stealthed all the time, and you get to really see the world in a very different way. Whereas anything that's not stealthed, they have to actually deal with other people seeing them. Whereas a rogue can just kind of see the map and play with it, which is fantastic.
I see.
Alright, so we know now that we've got a okay priest that's fairly AFK, mostly just likes the game, and probably a pretty good mage. The mage seems to know what's going on, so we're just going to go for a cap here because the mage is in that little ditch. Priest, like we said, didn't seem to know what was going on. We got a full assault once again on the stables, and here we are at a 5 cap. So, we're doing fantastic. I think we almost have mind full at this point. Like we're doing great. I fight the priest for a while and the mage for a little while longer, and people, of course, as you can imagine, dying from the other fights that they're in. This is when the huge influx of people from their main resurrection point up at the top of the hill starts, and once that happens, you're absolutely done with a 1v2 or a 2v2, or even it doesn't really matter if you got 2 people in stables, you're just not going to keep it. But we do push to a full 5 cap, which is pretty freaking ridiculous, and we do go on to win the game, which of course, like we played it pretty well. The rest of the team, of course, I'm not saying that they didn't do anything. It's just that doing what I did or what rogues should do in this kind of a battleground, this is how you can help your team, even though I'm not going to get the crazy numbers or whatever. So that's how it works. Have a nice day.